More on that, we can cross now to our reporter Claire Paccalin in Jerusalem. Claire, Stéphane Séjourné is set to visit the West Bank as the next stop of his Middle East tour. What can we expect from this trip?
So the French Foreign Ministry has been very clear about the aims of this trip. France is pushing for a ceasefire, the release of the remaining Israeli hostages in Gaza, and real efforts to get back around the negotiating table and find a political two-state solution to this crisis. So Stéphane Séjourné was in Egypt a little earlier on today. He met the foreign minister there. He also met the president, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. He acknowledged Egypt's concern about possible forced displacement of people into Egyptian territory. Of course, we know that the Israeli army is pushing further south into the Rafah area of Gaza, and that is right on the Egyptian border. We know also that France views Gaza as Palestinian, and France would always be against any kind of Israeli settlements in Gaza. So we have Stéphane Séjourné. He's in Jordan this evening. He's having dinner in Amman with the Jordanian foreign minister, and tomorrow he'll be starting his day in Israel and then moving on to the West Bank.
Right, and of course he's among other Western diplomats that have been shuttling across the region in a bid to secure this new truce in the war. Tell us a bit about where we are at with the talks on a potential deal and maybe even a ceasefire.
So far, Hamas is still studying the proposed deal. That's what we understand, and that some divisions within Hamas could be slowing things down. We heard from the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu again today. He said that Israel would not sign any deal at any price. On the ground now in Gaza, the Israeli army has been in Khan Yunis and is now striking targets in Rafah. That is, of course, where many civilians have escaped to, hoping to flee the fighting on what's an increasingly small piece of land. There are people now in the city of Rafah in Gaza who are literally sleeping in the streets, in tents, in makeshift shelters. Aid agencies say, yes, aid trucks are getting through to Gaza, but there's just not nearly enough to go round. There's not enough clean drinking water, there's not enough food, hygiene is terrible, and there isn't enough medicine to go round either. So this very complex ground operation for the Israeli army is, of course, even more complex in that southern area of Gaza, where there are many civilians trying to find shelter.